Our next speaker is Emiri Endo, Miss Emiri Endo, and title of her speech is I am a world citizen. Oh.
Hello, my name is Emiri Endo, and today I'm going to talk about how my identity as a world citizen is constructed. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm an international student from Osaka, Japan, and I like sushi, and my hobby is playing the piano and reading books. And I think I'm quite a shy person. It's been 6 months since I came here, and I really like life in the UK. The campus is huge, full of nature, but the best thing about living here is that I don't have to commute by train, which I have to do nearly every day in Japan. I really don't like to commute using incredibly crowded train, but still I like Japan. I feel so relaxed and welcomed when I return to Japan. So I could say I love my home country, Japan, but I could also say that I love another place, which is Turkey. That's because I have Turkish father, and in that respect, I could say I have inherited Turkish culture as well. My Turkish name is Elif, which is so common and popular name in Turkey. I'm so proud of Turkish culture, and I think Turkey is an amazing country. It's been all the time center of intercultural events and has been all the time flexible with their lifestyle. I see Turkey as the mixture of a lot of cultural aspects, which I find so fascinating. So my Turkish father and Japanese mother were studying here in Norwich at UEA, and they eventually married. Also, I was born here in Norwich. I really like Norwich. It has a relaxed atmosphere with greeneries, squirrels, rabbits, compared with big cities such as Osaka, Tokyo, Istanbul, where I lived before. So this was my brief introduction, and I think you may be wondering what kind of person I am while listening to me so far. And here's one question from me. How did you find me from the very beginning of my self-introduction, and how did it change after you finished listening to my introduction? When I say I'm a Japanese and I was born in Japan, what kind of impression will you have? And when I say, actually, I'm half Turkish, how does the impression you had for the first time change? Moreover, how will it change if I say, I was born here in Norwich? Maybe some of you will be surprised or even confused. That's because this happens when people try to grasp one person's personality, identity, or character, and ending up realizing that they don't know what to do, what to think. And also, this may show that people categorize the person to a stereotype they know in order to understand the person. Also, people subconsciously attribute people to a nationality or ethnicity in order to familiarize others. So now I'm going to talk about my idea of identity, which I've got through my experiences so far. So I was born here in Norwich and spent 3 years, and then I moved to Turkey, my father's country. And then I moved to Japan when I was 5 years old. And then after that, my life was based in Japan. Many Japanese, so I have only received education in Japan, and I was treated as a Japanese citizen. Many Japanese people tend to think that Japan is the country of monoculturalism, which regards Japan as socially, ethnically, one group. All of my classmates were Japanese. Of course, compared to the UK, maybe it's difficult to call Japan an ethnically diverse country, but still I could find a variety of different cultures there. I could still find foreigners. But while I grew up in the society which has an ideal to have one dominant culture, and also while I grew up in the society surrounded by the people in that society, I started to realize that I was different, and I started to hide that different part of me since I was little. I was so used to think that everyone is the same and everyone's supposed to be the same. For example, while during the school lunches, I sometimes couldn't eat because the food had pork in it, and I couldn't eat pork because my father is Muslim and no one eats pork in my family. But my classmates at that time, who are like 6 years or 7 years old children, never understood why I didn't eat pork or even what the religion is. So they were sometimes mean to me because in Japan, teachers are monitoring the students until they finish eating all of their meals, and they thought, my classmates thought that I was cheating. So this is just a small example, but there are so many differences like this between me and others. And whenever I found these differences, I tried to hide it. Otherwise, I would be out of group. So these experiences in Japan made me difficult to be just myself, and I always tended to think how my identity was seen to other people. I didn't admit my non-Japanese culture until I finished my high school. I couldn't like my non-Japanese culture. But after starting my university, which is very international university, it felt so cool to have multicultural. I felt as if I was released from the sense of everyone should be the same. That's why I started to learn Turkish, which I never wanted to learn. And fortunately, I could manage to speak it. So, when I was in second year of university, I went to Turkey alone for 2 months. I expected to be welcomed from Turkey, and also I expected to feel the sense of belonging to that culture. But I couldn't. I didn't feel in that way, because I'm not fully Turkish. Every person I met there was so friendly and so kind to me, but still I felt as if I was treated as a guest to the culture, not as a member of the culture. So after spending time in Turkey, I figured out that I don't belong to either Turkish culture and Japanese culture. So after that, I often thought about my identity more than before. But one day, my professor told me that I'm like a door which can connect two cultures and also which can go through both of them. And I really felt so happy when he said that. Also, what made me think my identity more positive is year abroad in the UK. The Britain was the first place that I could feel I don't have to be either Turkish or Japanese. I could both belong to Japanese society and Turkish society and many more other societies. And nobody wanted me to be someone, so I could be who I am freely, and I could do what I want. I cook Japanese food, and Turkish food, and Italian food, Indian food. I absorbed many new cultures here, and that has changed me to think that to be a world citizen is a more positive thing. Because I came to the UK, I had a lot of opportunities to learn new ideas and cultures, and including my own culture, and I am so proud of that culture. And I think crossing border and meeting new ideas and new people and cultures and becoming aware that you are a world citizen is a wonderful thing. My identity as a world citizen will never going to be solid, but it will keep changing and changing whenever I meet new people. That's what I realized in the UK, and I'm so happy because I could realize this. I eat sushi, I eat kebab, I eat spaghetti, I eat curry, and these all symbolize what I feel most happy about, and I am so proud of it. Thank you.